So yeah. There's a box that we keep the jig in, and we keep it over there in the machine shop on one of those cabinets. So yeah, this was donated to us, I guess, with the lady that gave us those boat kits. Yeah. So it was here, and yeah, I had some scarping to do on 1/4 inch, and I thought I'd give it a try, and yeah, it works. The issue is, it takes a little time to set up, and you also, to rig it, you have to take your skill saw and drill some holes. It calls for 5 holes, but the way I positioned it with the first 2, not realizing where the position was for the 3rd hole on this side, I was too close to the edge. So I've only got the 2 bolts on the guide, and yeah, on the this side here, what do they call that? That's just the guard. Yeah, so you got the guard and the guide. So 4 bolts, and it's fairly simple. You adjust the guide to be about calls for a 1/16 of an inch off the blade from the guide, and I've got that set up now to about a 1/16. I ended up being a little too conservative when I drilled the hole initially, so I was a little off, and it was a little bit too far from the blade. So I just took a file and yeah, filed it out, gave myself a little bit more room there, and now I can adjust it and get it over there nice and tight. So to set it up, the instructions call for, here's the piece of the plywood I'm going to cut 1/4 inch. You're 3.5 inches off on the bottom from your the edge of your support panel here, and you're in just another 1/4 inch on the top here, 1/8 inch, 3 5/8 inch back for your fence. So you secure your fence here on the piece, and you're all set. So when you lay this on here, you got your guide here. That goes on top. And you're just going to run it with the guide flush against the fence here. And we should be all set. Get some power. So give this a shot. So it scoots across pretty good. I did try this on 1/2 inch. Let me just take the so for 1/4 inch, I can just pass this around there. So.
Yeah, that's nice.
So if you're going to do a lot, it's worthwhile. For just like one short piece like this, 24 inches, by the time you set everything up, you're probably just as well to hand plane it. But yeah, what I had 4 sheets of, and I'm doing the 48-inch sides, and yeah, once you get it down, you just set the next one up, and you still have to, yeah, I didn't put a 2-inch mark on here, but I'm only like halfway into it. Yeah, it cuts down on the thick end of this pretty nicely, and then you just stack them up and then finish it off with a hand plane. So it looks pretty good. I did, like I said, I did try it with 1/2-inch ply, and I wasn't happy with that. I just got a couple inches into it, and my saw, what did I say that was? It's 10 amps. I don't know if they're coming much more powerful, but this just didn't sound good, and I was afraid something was going to fly apart and probably hit me or whatever. Yeah, worst part. But anyway, for a fair amount of work, I think it's worthwhile, and it's right there. And yes, all you have to do is drill a few holes in the base of it. Yeah, and this is set. You can adjust to whatever ratio you want. I've got it at 7.5 degrees, which is the 8-to-1 ratio. So, yeah.
Yeah, one thing to remember is that with a circular saw, you're only going to cut 2 5/8, I think, is the maximum depth of a 7.5-inch circular saw, which means that that's as deep as you're not going to be able to make an 8-to-1 scarf in anything more than 1/4-inch ply.
Yeah. So.
But you don't really want to make the feather edge with a circular saw. It's not going to be a very
just
pretty.
going to chop it up. So this seemed
Came
to.
out pretty nice though.
Yeah,
Not bad.
this is.
There's the feather edge.
What kind of, did you use a plywood blade on the saw?
No, it's an old blade too. It's a carbide tip blade, but yeah.
I mean, it's,
They left a little bit of flat on the,
Yeah.
but that's okay. I mean, that's what epoxy's for.
damn right.
Yeah, and, yeah. So it did come around pretty good. So.
You have to paint grade scarf. You just have to back the scarf off a little bit until the pieces match up.
Yeah,
If a little bit of feather edge is missing, you just spackle it.
yeah. So that's it. Any questions? We'll keep it in this box here, and yeah, right there in the cabinet. Anybody wants to give it a try? Yeah.
And if you're doing whole sheets of plywood, you can use one of those tool clamp kind of.
Oh, yeah.
Just clamp over the whole sheet of plywood, and you got a perfectly straight 4-foot straight edge.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
We also have a router or a planer section there that perhaps I wouldn't get lost in the move. I probably should turn it. But I didn't want to getting lost because it was valuable, and I was afraid somebody would throw it out or dispose it or something. So I grabbed it with Dave's bring it back.
Yeah, those are not available anymore. It's called the Henry scarf. Yeah, and those are no longer in production. So that fits on a 3.5 or yeah.
We have two different versions. We got the 3.5 and the 4.5.
Yeah.
We have the 4.5. John Ost has the 3.5.
Yeah.
A few more years, we could probably sell it for big bucks.
But it is so useful when you're doing scarves.
Yeah.
It does, I find it does take a little setup. I do a couple of practice runs to get it going. But once I got it set up, I can just go to sheet after sheet after sheet. And when you're doing these long scarves, or a lot of scarves,
Yeah.
it's really good. So I need to scarf 1/8-inch, 3 sheets of 8, or actually 6 sheets of 1/8-inch to do the roof on my Coleman. That's kind of why I'm hanging on to it. Because I'll do 3 sheets in one shot. I have to do it a long way.
Then you'll be 3 sheets to the wind.
I will. Yeah, I find that
Don't.
on the 1/4 inch, I set it up like it's a 1/2 inch, and I just do 2 1/4 inches at the same time. The 1/2 inch is pretty good. 3/8 you don't do the single. I've not tried the 1/8 inch, so I'll see how that works out. The fallback is just a 1/2 inch.
I didn't even know there was 8-inch.
Yeah, they make
Yeah.
1/8 inch plywood.
Is it Okumi?
It's Amarante.
Oh,
Yeah, you can get a Comey too.
yeah.
Well,
So what is it?
It's not 1/8 inch, it's 4 mil, but
4
Well,
mil?
they've got 3 and 4.
Oh,
Wow.
3?
They have 3
Yeah,
mil, 4
well, I take it back. Because I built my kayak, I had 3 mil deck on it. Didn't even
yeah,
remember.
you can't get
Didn't know
5
it was
that I
8.
know of. But
Makes sense.
some of my plans call for 5, and I've not been able to find anybody that has 5.
Yeah, the the last time I was at,